sometimes being right or thinking that you're being right is kind of to your detriment, right? And I think a lot of like Hollywood celebrities are currently kind of dealing with that. They're trying to wrangle with it at least, right? Because listen, in their heads, due to them being stuck in an echo chamber and the moral superiority that generally surrounds it, they cannot imagine that someone else with a different overall outlook on life, different point of view, could be right or wrong. Then obviously, this most recent president election has changed a lot of those theories because they just found out that a lot of people voted against the Democrat Party. Right? To the point where a Republican won the popular vote. Why do you think that is, Democrats? Is it just because you put Kamala Harris up there? No, it's because of everything you represent. Like every single thing that you represent is not something that is appealing to the masses any longer. Okay, and obviously it hasn't been appealing to the masses for a really long time, to the point where again the Republicans won popular vote. Guys, so a lot of celebrities current day are in fact kind of outing themselves in this instance here and going against their fan bases exclusively because you think differently than me. That means you're bad. That means either you are suffering through some type of ism or you are an ist, let's say, of sorts. One of the ists, name them. Right? But all right, let's jump into the video, guys. Comedian regrets turning off Trump supporters. I have no idea what comedian we're about to encounter, but it doesn't surprise me, to say the least. Whoever it is, I'm sure we're going to find out. We're going to be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. But all right, suggestion via Discord. Let's check it out.
If you like making people laugh, don't cut your audience in half. Alleged comedian Jim Gaffigan has expressed regret over losing Trump supporters due to his arrogant comments. Somehow they thought he was insulting them when he clearly was insulting them.
Probably was, right.
Back in 2020, Jim trashed Trump online and lashed out on anyone who defended him. Now in a recent podcast, I guess Jim feels kind of bad about it.
All right,
I regret that people think that I was criticizing people that support Trump. That was never the intention. It was, I regret someone said now I can't follow you anymore. And I kind of said F you to them. There are true diehard Trump fans that, probably enjoyed my comedy that, because they feel so passionately, will never forgive me.
Okay. Because you're so positive and influential in everybody's life, and you're apologist. Dagan, he doesn't get it. It wasn't about disagreement over personal beliefs, but rather the nasty way he dismissed Trump voters as less than moral. They weren't as moral as him. He was at this moral high ground. The problem is there's no ticket sales in woke moral high ground.
Yeah, generally no. And he's right here in this instance here. The smartest thing to do, listen, if you have a problem with a politician, whatever, you have a problem with the politician. But what you should not have done was then go after the people that support said politician. Just like how you have the freedom of speech to say whatever you're saying, right, in this context, you have the freedom to believe kind of what you want to believe. You don't like someone, okay, say it, it's fine. Just don't defame or add any type of slander. But once you start going after other people for thinking different than you, then, bro, you're done.
So that apology was weaker than Charlie Hurd after 3 push-ups.
Wow.
Sorry. Wow. I'm not throwing a dig at a woman with child, a man with connections to the law, or Dagan. So just a process of elimination.
Yeah, guys, the only person I recognize here is him. I think I've seen him in a couple of the videos you guys have sent me. I have no idea who these other people are, guys.
Elimination.
You want a contest here?
You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
No, I really don't.
You don't want to do that. There's nothing worse than a joke and then making it true to life. So, but all joking.
I'm going to be honest, bro. I'm not sure you could even do the 50 push-ups, guys. I'm just going to be honest here.
So, I respect and love you, one farmer to another, even though you're an aspirin.
Okay.
They don't get it, right? They make the insults, Dagan. And they do this, and then they realize...
Is that someone's name, Dagan?
I don't have any fans coming to my shows. So now, all of a sudden, they're like... But it's not even an apology. It's kind of like, until it's good for me again, until CNN starts paying higher booking prices, we're just going to start walking over to Fox News. And we've seen a lot of it, Kat. We've seen a lot of people that were so anti, and now they're like, hey, is any seats available over there?
Yeah.
Of course. I expect that. Guys, I definitely expect that to happen, start to happen much more often than I think we're used to seeing, to be honest. I do think that a lot of individuals are going to start showing up in places politically where you or I just are not used to seeing them at.
Greg Gutfeld put on X like the last day or two. It was a photo of
that's
like
this person's thing.
Colbert and Kimmel and those other just hideously unfunny people who are all losing to Gutfeld, exclamation
The
point.
nighttime show
and
people.
I thought that Gaffigan is worried about being included in that toilet soup. That he is he's like, if I'm on that list, I am a comedian underneath, like somewhere below J. Edgar Hoover and Nikita Khrushchev in terms of being funny. So he's worried about his legacy.
You dance with the devil and then you don't want to pay it? Like, Charlie, like, I don't understand.
No, they don't.
But hold on.
Why would they want to?
was pretty funny.
They thought they were right. Right? Dancing with the devil in this context would probably just denote that, yeah, bro, listen, they believe that they were right. Everything that they're doing and they've been saying for the last decade is completely correct and it's morally superior. And if you don't agree with what we're doing over here and saying and thinking, then you're wrong, right? So, yeah, they're going to have to, for the most part, dance with the devil because they just realized for the first time in a very long time that the American public just does not want any of that nonsense. Okay, so yeah, if the devil is the other side of individuals who don't just blindly agree to, let's say, the wokeism, then yeah, they're going to have to dance with the devil, bro.
Those high
If they
heels,
want to
they
stay
were
afloat.
hysterical.
Didn't he accuse people of communism and ruin lives and families?
Yeah.
Way to go, Charlie.
Apparently my joke didn't land. Okay, so I'll go back to analysis.
Yes, which you're very good at.
So no, he says he regrets. No, what he regrets is that all these people like dunked on him and don't listen to him anymore. But in his defense, the only thing that I thought was kind of strange about what he said on that podcast is that he's like, I care a lot about politics. I really follow politics. I don't think that he does. I think that he reads the New York Times. He believes everything he reads in the New York Times. So he actually thinks all those things that they write about Donald Trump are true. And then he goes out and he says it. And then he's surprised when he finds out that he's been lied to all this stuff.
Nah, bro, he's just in an echo chamber. He probably is not even reading the New York Times. The problem is that every single person around him believes the same as he. So when that starts to happen, guess what happens? Again, even on this side here, right, coming from this angle that Fox News generally comes from, say something that is not, let's say, agreed upon fully within the echo chamber, and then, oh my God, madness is occurring. All right, this is just the unfortunate aspects of having yes men surrounding you.
Time. And that he's wrong about it, and that actually he's wrong about Donald Trump, and he's even more wrong about the people who support him.
Kat, like I said, because this is becoming the media's, the hood's been blown off. We all see that they were full of, and they made all the Hitler stuff, and now Americans we're becoming more central to where people are like, yeah, they're just common sense and they're funny, and now all of a sudden they're trying to get over in our water because theirs is all dried up.
Well, I guess I'm just anti-cancel culture across the board. So I think it's wrong when anybody's getting canceled for supporting Trump or. I would never say if you voted for XYZ, then don't talk to me. No matter.
Right.
I would never say that.
And well, the funny thing is that I think a lot of people would actually say that, but the problem is the ones who are coming from, that are basically on top of Mount Moral Superiority, these individuals are the ones always, it seems, to want to do this. Guys, what's funny is I made a video on my Mr. Elboy Discusses channel, kind of regarding a couple of my family members who have decided to just completely disown me, right? Exclusively for not towing the line with them, guys, right? In terms of politics. And it's just like, bro, listen. The ones who are talking about canceling people are generally the ones who are coming from the left, period.
Thank you. There's just like one person.
No, I'm an elite.
No, 1,000%.
Yeah.
So, and it's also, it's true in both directions. And him, quite honestly, I mean, his career is going better than mine is. Like, Jim Gaffigan is one of the most recognizable comics out there. So I don't know. I mean, I guess the fact that he's acknowledging it, I wouldn't want to cancel Trump's supporters supporting Trump, and I wouldn't want to cancel him for saying what he said. I think it's a positive thing when someone comes out and says this was a mistake.
I just think...
Yeah, but he's only saying it's a mistake exclusively because his pockets are hurting.
As a comic, the best compliment I could get after a show is when people ask me, what are you, Republican, Democrat? And I love that because that means I did my job as a comedian. And as much as Jim fell into the trap, I think the trap was also set, and it's become this divisive thing where the late night shows somehow became a left-right thing, which was never the case. That was not,
Yeah, Carson never did that.
No, and it became if you appeared on certain, even podcasts, you go on Rogan, you go on Carolla, you're considered conservative. You go on Silverman or Maron, you're liberal, and that shouldn't be the case. So comedy also somehow drew this line. And listen, I get it as a comic. You guys know where I work when I'm not working here. And the reaction to me being on Fox is, whoa, 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 you're on there? And the same thing the other way around. It's like, well, and it's like, why are we drawing lines in comedy?
Agreed.
It shouldn't be that way. Comedy should just be comedy, and you should be able to make fun of Trump, Biden, and everybody else, and it just should be universal. We laugh at everything.
Yep.
But I guess my pushback is comics on our side, we never drew the line. Gutfeld Show never would say to anyone, didn't care who you were, if you wanted to be on the show and Greg thought you were funny, you'd be on the show.
Yeah, right.
So when I see them complain, you started this game. So I'm like laying in your bed. You. I mean, honestly, I'm sorry. I am because you know what? My shows are sold out all over the country. But guess what? If I went to do one of their buildings, they would try to shut me down. So I don't go to their buildings. I built my own house, and I don't have to follow the rules. They made this game. So now you're mad because you picked the wrong team? Stay on your team.
But you know what? We want, I think...
They're not going to, bro. They're not going to. At all. And honestly, I semi-agree with what you're saying here, but more disagree with what you're saying here. I'm like, see, listen, I remember a time where husband and wives would have different political ideologies and they still be married. And nowadays, it's like women, almost large scale, are like, oh, you voted for Trump? Ew, you're nasty. That type of thing. That's where we are right now in the time that we're in right now, okay? It would be great if that wasn't a thing, but I do remember a time literally where people would just have different political ideologies and still would be able to be like best friends. Things have just been entirely too polarized over the last, decade and a half.
Ultimately, what everybody wants is the rules go back to what they were.
That's what I want.
Yeah, I want things to go back. I don't want to sit here and have these grudges. Look, if Jim is doing a mea culpa, hey, it's my bad. You know what, Jim? Good. Say it out loud. Do like you did here, and let's get it back to where it used to be. Let's get back to where talk shows are just funny. Let's get back to where comedy clubs, you don't have to worry about what club. You know.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I said, screw it, I'll build my own. Because they wouldn't let us in. Right. And I just think it's not up to us. They got to have him have conservative comics on his show.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
but
Jim,
they won't do that. They're not there yet.
Lead the fight now and say, look, man, we got to go back to making comedy clubs what they were. And Jim can do that because, like Kat said, he's got that kind of leverage in the business to do it. Let's get back to where we were.
Click here.
All right, guys. So this last guy, I think I like him the most because I think he seems to be, for the most part, the most neutral of them all. I would definitely like for this exact conversation to be had on CNN. I think you and I both know that that's not a thing. It will basically never happen because, again, this polarization, it seems to be rampant, let's say, guys. But, guys, let me know what you guys think. Again, I definitely would like to get back to the time where people could just have different political ideologies and still be able to kind of be friends and have intelligent conversations with each other, learn from each other. Because, guys, if you realize how boring the same is, it's just boring, bro. Okay? I could not imagine having everyone around me be the same person, if that makes any sense here. Right? Like the people who I encounter on a regular basis have all different varying types of political ideologies, various types of, I am married to a woman. A guy that I regularly hang out with is married to a man. All right. And so I just want you to understand the beauty of having different things, right? Around you. You know what I mean? But it seems like the left right now only cares about everybody having the same exact thought, right? And it's not even like a valid thought. It's just a thought based off of like donors trying to find the next thing they can use in their gigantic corporation to make them more money. That's really what it is, right? It's virtue signaling nonsense. It's just all complete nonsense. It's irrelevant, guys. And I don't care. I don't think most people care what people are doing with themselves in the bedroom, guys. I promise you, I don't think that that's a thing, because it's just not my experience, at least, right? But either way, guys, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly, all right? This is my lightsaber. Hey, guys, you guys subscribe to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd, along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Oh, also, Mr. L. Boyd Discusses. Guys, check it out. And if you haven't heard it today, you're amazing.